In today's Wrestling Wednesday, we go back to a classic game, WWF No Mercy on the N64, but of course, this is with a slight twist. We are running the WWF Legends mod, so we will be doing Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage from Wrestlemania 5. Please join me for a great match and great commentary. Well, greetings and welcome back to one of 3 matches uploaded this Wrestling Wednesday, and we are on No Mercy, which is one of the greatest wrestling games of all time, and certainly the best one in the US version of the N64. But as I said in the introduction, we are playing with a very special mod today on the emulator. This is WWF Legends by a whole bunch of people, including, and I hope I pronounced these right, Trax, Orson, FTW, JME, Wild FB, WWE Fan for Life, Mike Hollow, Jazz, Outlaw 21, and loads and loads and loads more. This is a brilliant conversion of No Mercy into the 80s era of the WWF. The roster isn't huge, but it's big enough. It's about as big as, in fact, some of the earlier wrestling games were. You got Macho Man, you got Hogan, we got Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man, Bret Hart, and a bunch more. And it's great fun. And of course, all of the visuals have been kind of redone. If you look at the faces of the guys, you can see that we've actually got proper higher definition textures. Probably actually photos on these guys' faces, giving a really nice effect. Of course, it's still No Mercy. It's still an N64 game, so these guys have legs and arms like cubes, but perhaps this is as good as as No Mercy is ever gonna look. Now, what made this game so good? And it's hard to explain, but a lot of it is just the fact that the matches were just so much fun. They clearly spent a lot of time balancing this game and working on that core gameplay, making sure that it was possible, making sure that there was a nice balance between strikes and grapples, and that there were good ways of countering strikes and grapples to kind of keeping it as a game of skill. And as well as it just being about strikes and grapples, there was also some kind of automatic counters in there as well. You saw one a minute ago, and I got catapulted into the ring post. The game is kind of always trying to keep itself kind of well balanced, but at the same time rewarding good skill and things like that. It's hard to explain. You've got to experience No Mercy. Although we're probably now, sadly, a good 10-15 years too late. But I do hope over the coming months to revisit No Mercy a number of times, probably with different mods each time. It was also one of the first games to really ever be modded, and it was actually modded at the time using the old Game Genie Action Replay cartridges through the use of simple code hacks, memory hacks, and there'd be the various things like, you know, infinite specials and maximum healths and things like that. But it was the first game where people were really able to really modify the core game to put in new modes, new characters, new moves, even interfering with animation as Elizabeth slaps Hulk Hogan across the head. I don't remember that bit from WrestleMania 5. And in the Adipose's younger days, I was actually part of that community as well. I was always part of the match hacks, and I created I kind of my own, like, I improved the Royal Rumble match, and I added in a scramble match type variation and a few others. It was a great time to be a wrestling game fan, and it was a whole lot of fun as well. Now, of course, this match that I'm recreating for you again is a very, very important match. This was Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage, WrestleMania 5, the culmination of a year-long friendship that broke down into a feud over the lovely Elizabeth. And you can't just say Elizabeth, it has to be the lovely Elizabeth, because that was how she was always referred to at the time. These guys were the mega powers. They fought together at SummerSlam and various other major events, until eventually Randy Savage's jealousy over Hulk Hogan's relationship with Elizabeth took him over, as Hulk Hogan hits Randy Savage with the Axe Bomber, Hulk Hogan's finisher when he wrestles in Japan, but not putting down Randy Savage this time. And eventually Randy Savage, turning against his brother and turning heel in the process and setting up this excellent encounter at WrestleMania 5. And it's arguably Hulk Hogan's best match he has had at a WrestleMania. There's lots of others. I mean, I've enjoyed lots and lots of Hulk Hogan's matches at WrestleManias, but this was probably Hulk Hogan's best when he was at his kind of in the peak of his career, facing an excellent worker in Randy Savage, and lots of kind of memorable parts here. Of course, a year later we would have the showdown between Warrior and Hogan, and I'm sure we'll be covering that in the future. But this, for a straightforward heel versus face match, was excellent. Now, No Mercy, one of the things I think that made it gameplay works so well is that Hulk Hogan locks on a rolling arm hold. Again, another move that he used to use in Japan rather than America. I was reading an interesting interview with Hulk Hogan a few years ago where he talked about how he would wrestle very differently when he was in Japan than he was in America. And although he knew he took stick for his wrestling ability when he was in America, he has a lot more moves than people think he does, but it's by choice. When he's in America, he says he entertains a lot and wrestles a little, and when he's in Japan, he wrestles a lot and entertains a little. I hope I got that round the right way, but I hope you see my meaning. So Hulk Hogan's matches, I think he's a far better wrestler than people sometimes give it credit for. I think it is all about, for him, that he fits his style to the people that are in the audience, regardless of what perhaps us more wrestling purists may think of it, as he absolutely levels Randy Savage with the Axe Bomber clothesline and goes for the first realistic fall of the match. Can he put him away right here? No! Randy Savage kicks out as Elizabeth looks on, concerned. Now, this, of course, was one of the few games that had more than one reversal button. If you wanted to reverse a strike, that was your right shoulder button. If you wanted to reverse a grapple, that was your left shoulder button. So you couldn't just tap reverse, reverse, reverse. There was an element of kind of out-predicting your opponent. Was your opponent going to go strike, or was your opponent going to go grapple? This also appeared in the kind of the Tuken Ritsuden games, where it was kind of grapple versus strike versus submission. But it certainly worked very, very, very well, and you could have these incredibly tense standoffs when playing multiplayer about what move was each person going to go for. Because if you guessed correctly and counted correctly, then of course you had the advantage and were able to put together a string of moves. As Hogan comes down now with a massive clothesline into the corner before crushing Randy Savage in the bear hug, perhaps in a tribute to his match with Andre at WrestleMania 3. Hulk Hogan on the cusp of the special maneuver there, but hasn't quite got it. A big, longer grapple, because this was one of the first games, well, not one of the first games, but was one of the, used a system of having short grapples and long grapples to have kind of small and big damage. A massive body slam, Andre the Giant style. Hogan backs off, doesn't have time to cut the air, but hits Randy Savage with a huge leg drop of doom, perhaps the most powerful move ever in history, and Hogan is victorious again. Thank you so much to the WWF Legends team for this fantastic mod, and thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, then do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for Wrestling Wednesday every week. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.